Today's financial mystery is the mystery of the falling credit score. This is Eileen St. Pierre, the Everyday Financial Planner. You recently noticed that your credit score has fallen big time. What the heck happened? Your basic FICO score ranges from a low of 300 all the way up to 850. There's actually a lot of different versions of the FICO score that lenders can use. But your payment history is going to have the largest impact on your credit score. Roughly 35% of your score will come from that. And then the amount of debt that you owe will make up roughly about 30% of your score. The length of your credit history makes up about 15% of your score. And then the amount of new credit that you've taken out and the type of credit used will make up the remaining 20% of your score. Now, in order to solve the mystery of the falling credit score, you need to get your official credit report from annualcreditreport.com. You can get one free credit report from each of the 3 reporting agencies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, every 12 months. Since your payment history has the largest impact on your credit score, let's start here. You want to look for items that are more than 30, 60, or 90 days late. Even if you think you've paid your bills on time, there may be an issue with timing with your lender. Okay? You want to see if there's any debt that's gone to collections. A lot of people don't realize that this has happened. Okay, so you have to go to that collector and negotiate the settlement. You want to see if there's a note that's attached to a payment history, because what happens is your history for that particular lender may not be included in the calculation of your credit score. That actually happened for my husband. So we called the credit card company and asked them to remove it. You also want to look for any errors. Of course, you want to get those taken off. And there's steps that are laid out for each of the credit reporting agencies on how you do that. Now, another reason why your credit score may have fallen is that maybe you've started using your credit cards a lot more. What the scoring models incorporate is something called your debt utilization ratio. And for credit cards, it's going to be the amount of debt you've used divided by your credit limit. And when that goes above a certain amount, usually around 30%, that's when it starts to really hurt your score. Let's go through an example. Let's say you have a credit limit on your credit card of $500. Now, if you have a balance of $100 on that credit card, your debt utilization ratio is only 20%. But if you suddenly put another $300 on there so that your balance rises to $400, well, now your debt utilization ratio rises to 80%. So basically, the closer you get to maxing out your cards, the more harm it's going to do. Now, the length of your credit history also matters. If you don't have a very long history to start with, any negative item will have a greater impact on your score. Now, a lot of people have been counseled that if they're no longer using a credit card, that they should keep that credit card open. And that's because if you close that account, you're going to lose that history, right? What also happens is your overall debt utilization ratio may actually go up because now you have a lower total credit limit. But you also have to look at your situation, right? If you're an overspender, closing this account may be helpful in the long run, all right? Take a look at who has inquired about your credit. There are actually 2 types of credit inquiries, soft and hard inquiries. Soft inquiries are when you, your employer, or any other company you do business with, such as your car insurance company, your cell phone provider, or your landlord, check on your credit. These do not impact your score. There's also hard inquiries, and these are when you give companies permission to check your credit. These will impact your credit score. All inquiries stay on your credit report for 2 years, but they have less of an impact after 6 months. So after a 6-month period, a hard inquiry will start to age off. Now, a hard inquiry should only cause your credit score to fall by 5 to 10 points per inquiry. Multiple inquiries for the same type of loan, such as a new car, over a 30-day period count as one inquiry. But we always advise people to wait 6 months in between big purchases that require financing. So if you buy a car say this month, wait 6 months for that hard inquiry to age off before you start shopping for a mortgage. Now, most items on your credit report will remain there for 7 years, but public records can stay on a lot longer. These will be listed at the beginning of your credit report, and these are the most damaging. These are things like bankruptcy, or if you have any court judgments. You may get a court judgment if you have an item that goes to collection, and then the collector sues you for a judgment. In that case, they can garnish your wages or freeze your bank accounts. If you have any tax liens as well, they will show up as a public record. Now, if you find you're a victim of identity theft, you want to listen to my video, The Case of the Hijacked Tax Refund, to learn what you should do next. This video has been brought to you by the Choctaw Asset Building Program. I hope you've been able to solve the mystery of the falling credit score. Until our next financial mystery, this has been Eileen St. Pierre, the Everyday Financial Planner.